Good evening and welcome to the League of Women Voters of St. Lucie County Candidate Forum for the 2022 election year. I am Sabrina Taylor, the current president. Just a few quick reminders before we move on to the reason why you have chosen to join us, and thank you for making time for us this evening. Vote by mail ballots were already sent out on September 30th. The last date to request a vote by mail ballot is October 29, and the last date to mail it back is going to be October 31. You can mail your ballot back or hand deliver it. If you choose to mail it, please allow 10 to 14 days for delivery. Your ballot must be received by mail by 7 p.m. on November 8th. Early voting has already started. It was Monday, October 24th, and it runs through Saturday, November 5th, including Sunday, October 30th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And there is one more additional day, which is Sunday, November 6th from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Just be reminded that there are 6 early voting locations, 2 in Fort Pierce and 4 in Port St. Lucie. The 2 Fort Pierce locations are the Renaissance Business Center, formerly known as Orange Blossom Business Center, as well as the Orange Blossom Mall, if you lived here long enough to remember that. So that is still on Okeechobee Road. The second one is the Zora Neale Hurston Library on Avenue D. The 4 Port St. Lucie locations, the first one is a new one. It is the Indian River State College Veteran Center of Excellence on California Boulevard. The Mid-Florida Credit Union Event Center on Port St. Lucie, right on US 1. The Paula A. Lewis Library on Rosser Boulevard. And lastly, Port St. Lucie Community Center on Arosa Boulevard. Just remember that you also need a photo and signature identification in order for you to cast your ballot. To learn more about the League of Women Voters, please visit us on our website at lwvslc.org. Again, that's lwvslc.org. We also have a Twitter page, an Instagram page as well, and certainly would love to, including Facebook, of course, where you all are viewing us this evening, love to have you visit any one of those social media platforms. Now, on to the forum. Tonight, we were here with candidates running for the St. Lucie County County Commission, District 4. The format of tonight's forum will consist of a 90-second introduction, followed by a series of questions. Each candidate will have 2 minutes to answer each question. And then finally, the candidates will make a 2-minute closing remark. So the order was determined earlier before you all joined us. Just remember that this is not a debate. So candidates will make their statements. We will move on to the next question or candidate. And then candidates will be alerted at 30 seconds remaining, and again when their time is up. Our moderator for this evening is none other than Carol Wyatt. Carol is the co-owner and operator of local radio stations WPSL, Port St. Lucie, WSTU in Stewart, and WJNX in Fort Pierce. She is the president of WPSL Christmas Kids of St. Lucie County, the past president of the Rotary Club of Port St. Lucie, and a member of the Port St. Lucie Businesswomen. Carol also has many years in broadcasting, including as a reporter in Los Angeles prior to moving to Florida in 1993. We at the League of Women Voters are so honored to have her as our candidate forum yet for another year. And now on to the forum. Carol, the line is yours, and thank you.
Well, thank you, Sabrina, and welcome to this League of Women Voters of St. Lucie County Candidate Forum. We thank the members of the League for developing all the questions for the candidates. We thank the candidates for participating, and particularly we thank the people watching and listening for informing yourselves about this upcoming general election. Now, tonight, it is St. Lucie County Commission District 4, which covers the central part of the county. It is a term of 4 years. It is a county-wide race to fill the seat previously held by Franny Hutchinson, who did not run for re-election this year. In this general election, it'll be Democrat Helen Lurie facing Republican Jamie Lee Fowler. Now, Ms. Fowler was unable to join us this evening. If she finds she can, we'll be happy to work her in. But we'll proceed now with opening statements and Helen Lurie.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for this opportunity. My name is Helen Lurie, and I am running for St. Lucie County Commission District 4. I am a realtor, a former federal officer, program chair of the Criminal Justice and Homeland Security Program at Kaiser University, as well as a former professor. In addition to that, I am a mother, I am a wife, and a longtime resident of St. Lucie County, District 4. I'm running for St. Lucie County Commission District 4 to ensure that our county thrives for all. I have the skills and the experience to bridge gaps between other elected officials, representatives, and our community. My lived experiences allow me to relate to the community as a whole. I plan to be a transparent commissioner that invites the community in the decision-making process that we will have at the county level. Again, my name is Helen Lurie, and I am running for St. Lucie County Commission District 4. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We'll proceed with the first question. There are many areas of St. Lucie County in need of significant infrastructure improvements. Will you advocate for more infrastructure bill dollars to come to St. Lucie County? And if so, what areas do you think need it the most?
Certainly, that's an excellent question. So I want to start off by saying that I've been talking to residents of St. Lucie County since January. And one of the major concerns that we hear about are infrastructure issues specific to ineffective drainage throughout the county. Areas that I would focus on is just not just working on the drainage system, but there's also roads that have not been unpaved. It's my understanding that the county has a list of roads that are scheduled to be paved and worked on, which was on a, I guess, 75, 85-year list. But there's individuals that have said that their roads have never been paved. And those areas are in the city of Fort Pierce. But drainage is something that can be problematic for us, because when we have rainstorms, if we don't have proper drainage, then it can cause a lot of issues for our community. So that is something that I definitely would like to see that we work on. Would I be advocating for funds for that? Absolutely. I think that is the job of the county commission to definitely work with all levels of government at the state level as well as the federal level to ensure that we get funds for St. Lucie County for all projects that need to be worked on.
Okay, second question. St. Lucie County has more than 300,000 residents. To address their needs, the county has been acquiring new lands within the borders for expansion. What actions would you recommend to increase environmental resources and capacities within the county, especially since development is likely to increase in the next few years?
Thank you for that. So yes, I had the opportunity to sit through many meetings held by the county commissioners. And in those meetings, I learned that we are estimated to be at a population of 600,000 people by 2050. And then within 77 years, we'll be at 1 million residents in St. Lucie County. So the fact that we know this information in 2022 means that we need to prepare for what lies ahead. How do we do that? We work collaboratively. I look forward to working with the South Florida Water Management District, Army Corps of Engineers, to make sure that we are always thinking about our environment, always thinking about our waterways, and keeping that as part of the plan and direction that the county is going in. Collaborative work is how we do it. We can't do it alone. We have to work, again, state level, federal level, to ensure that we are protecting our natural resources here, protecting our waterways here, and remembering what's headed, that although we're sitting at over 300,000 people in St. Lucie County right now, but in a very near future, we are going to be at least 600,000 people in St. Lucie.
Well, going from there, having more than 300,000 current residents and being a destination for a lot of new ones, how do you propose handling the current and future traffic problems in St. Lucie County?
We have to prepare by working with our infrastructure. Expansions of roads are necessary, but it also has to be, we have to ensure that we are growing responsibly, that our development is responsible, that it's smart growth. When we are growing, we have to take everything into consideration, such as the homes that are being built in this area. What does it look like in terms of space set aside for green spaces that are set aside to ensure that we're not losing all our green spaces here, making sure that we have sidewalks, making sure we have walking paths and bike trails, because we need to understand that within our growth, our county is going to look different, and we have to be able to serve all the residents in the county. Oh, something went with my screen. But just making sure that we have things in place, sidewalks in place. We're working with the utilities department. We are making sure that we are preparing for the future. That's what it's all about. I will always go back to this, the fact that we know where we're headed in terms of the number of people that we're estimated to have in St. Lucie County, then the planning has to happen right now. The planning and infrastructure has to happen right now. The advocacy for dollars to our county has to happen right now to ensure that we are prepared for when this growth occurs.
Okay, thank you. And just to note, what happened with the screen, that was a time cue of you're at 90 seconds.
Oh,
so
okay.
Yeah, 30 seconds left. So that if that happens again. The next question. The overturning of Roe versus Wade has far-reaching impacts beyond abortion services. What will you do to ensure that women are able to receive adequate reproductive health care when seeking services within the county's health services?
So as a county commissioner, I think what we need to always be doing is working collaboratively across the board. So when I talk about bridging gaps, this is one of the things that I'm speaking on, is that we are working collectively across the board to ensure that our health department has the resources and are affording the resources to the women that need those within the county. I know we have a hands clinic here that provides services to individuals, residents within St. Lucie County, to make sure that we are working together, that there's a partnership, so there is no lack, that women can get the resources that they need, the reproductive resources that they need, without any hiccups whatsoever.
Okay, next question. St. Lucie County is an interconnected area. Fort Pierce and Port St. Lucie are separate cities with unique identities, but they occupy pretty much the same space and citizens can enjoy both. How will you ensure that county initiatives address the individual needs of each city, plus protect the waterways and ecosystem that they share?
So as a representative of a county commissioner, the way that you understand the needs of the community is that you have to be within the community. You have to be connected to the residents. When I talk about being a transparent county commissioner that invites the community in, this is where I'm talking. What I'm saying in that sense is being able to afford people the opportunity to let us know what it is, what issues are impacting them directly. How do we do that? We have to work collectively across the board. The city of Port St. Lucie has to continue to work with the county commission as well as city commission of Fort Pierce, but not just on the local level. We have to continue to work collectively with the state representatives also. That's how we're going to get it done. We have to understand that we're one county and we all play a crucial role of St. Lucie County flowing and thriving for everyone. And the only way that we're going to do that if we all get on the same page and work together.
Next question. Florida is also experiencing a housing crisis. Housing costs have been on the rise and most are out of range for first-time buyers. The hospitality industry that supports our tourism is struggling to find workers. They simply cannot afford to live here. So how will you address the housing problem in St. Lucie County?
So the issue that we're facing in St. Lucie County, unfortunately, it's not an issue that's just solely affecting St. Lucie. We're seeing this throughout the country. So how do we do this? We can't do it alone. There has to be private and public partnerships. We have to establish those partnerships. But when we do establish those, I think that when we welcome developers into our community, we have to be clear that there has to be housing set aside that would be considered workforce housing, affordable housing, so that our residents are not being priced out of St. Lucie County. Every resident deserves the right to live, play, and work right here within this county. But that can only be achieved if we have an established public-private partnership, because we as the county alone can't carry that load alone.
Okay, next question. Hurricane Ian was a reminder to all Floridians that we live in a high-risk area that is vulnerable to massive and devastating flooding. What will you do to make St. Lucie County more resistant and resilient to flooding from the next inevitable storm?
Well, like I mentioned, we have to ensure that we have effective drainage system here, because when we don't, then we have flooding issues, which can impact our residents in our residents' homes. But also closely working with the Army Corps of Engineers and working with the South Florida Water Management District, and working collectively as a county. We have an emergency center where we all collaborate as a county whenever we are facing an issue such as this. We have to make sure that is something that that continues to be a strong entity, so that whenever we know of anything impending threat towards the county, that we can collectively get together and figure out what resources need to be allocated to what parts of the county, and to make sure that our residents remain safe.
Okay, that comes to the end of our questions from the League. And if we have no questions from our Facebook audience, we'll go on to closing statements. Helen Laurie.
So again, thank you for this opportunity. We talked about a lot of issues today, and they may have been laid out separately, but what we need to know is that they are all interconnected. We cannot solve one issue without thinking about the effects that it has on other issues. We can't think about job growth without education. We can't think about growth without infrastructure. So it's necessary for us to collaborate across the board with one focus in mind, and that is to ensure that our county is thriving for everyone. My name is Helen Lurie. I am on your ballot. I am asking for your support. You can vote early or vote on election day. Again, Helen Lurie for St. Lucie County Commission, District 4. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Helen Lurie, for being with us. Helen Lurie will face Jamie Lee Fowler on the ballot, the early balloting that is going on now, and then the election on November 8th. We invited Jamie Lee Fowler. She was unable to attend. We certainly thank Helen Lurie for being here. And we thank you for watching, for listening, for informing yourselves. We thank the League for developing all the questions. Sabrina?
Thank you again, Carol, and thank you as well, Helen. And more importantly, thank you to the public for making the time out of your busy day to spend some time to get to know the candidate. You know, to Carol's point, we certainly wanted to make sure that you are able to spend time with both candidates. But we have Ms. Helen Lurie who made the time for us, and with that we are definitely very thankful. So if nothing else, please make sure you understand that your vote matters. Without your vote, you have no voice. Stay safe out there, and please either vote early or vote on November 8th. Bye for now.